Like, actually, you just wrote a book, like, not too, like, recently.
Have you read Kendall's book?
Is the grass green?
I'm so proud of her for doing that.
Like, what inspired you to do so?
Honestly, just sitting in the pandemic, also being in a serious relationship and living with somebody, it just helped me see a lot of things that I still hadn't necessarily healed from. And when I was trying to start working on healing those things and trying to get resources and different books and things, I didn't find anything that was exactly what I needed. So I was like, I'm going to create it because I'm not the only person who has been through this. I'm not the only person that needs this. And honestly, it started just so I could have a better resource. And the healing that I got and creating it for other people, it really made me want to take it to an even further level.
Yes, and the fact that I met Kendyl through you and to be able to watch her journey has been amazing. I love how I could journal and like be there with her. Like I felt like I was there with her and she was truly helping me through some of the unhealed trauma. So in a healthy way.
Oh, that's beautiful. Like, so like, have you heard any good feedback from your book? Like,
oh my goodness, yes. I've sold over like 150 copies, and it don't be seeming like a lot when I be seeing like
it's a lot,
the New York Times and stuff. But just thinking about that many people, you know, all the messages, the DMs, the responses.
I didn't even know I had trauma until I opened the book, and this trauma doesn't. I feel like for Black women, like we are taught to be strong and let things go, but like a lot of this shit is traumatic, but since we are taught to be strong, we just kind of sweep it under the rug. But I think reading her book helps give myself a little bit more grace and help me like put a name to things that I was going through.
I will meet people who actually I end up developing closer relationships with because they purchased the book, and it just lets me see how much of an impact it is. It is like you purchase my work, and that makes you want to get to know me as a person. So it's a very beautiful feeling.
Oh, I could imagine.
I love stuff that I'm able to learn from as well and have open-ended questions that could help me get through everything that I was going through. Like after having baby, entering motherhood, and just the little stuff, bettering myself.
I used the wrong fucking powder.
Okay. Trying to use
my
I know, because I'm darker than you. Like
I cannot believe I did that.
I'm darker than you. When you blend it out, it's gonna be cute.
I cannot believe I did this, y'all. Oh my god.
I was like, pause for a minute.
Yeah, something that makes me look at you too often. Oh, baby, you can give it something. Baby, I can run all the time. Baby, I'm talking crazy. I need you running my space, but I need it.
Hey, you guys. Welcome to this week's episode of Beyond the Brush, your favorite Black girl talk show. This is your host, not Tiny. Ha! It is Kendyl, and I am taking over this episode. Now, I am having a blast at the sleepover. We've been playing games, talking about these niggas, these bitches, our thoughts, our views, and it's all been a really good time. But now, I want to talk to you all about something super, super important to me, and that is being the survivor of abuse. Whether it is physical, mental, emotional, or in my case, trigger warning, sexual. As survivors, one of the hardest things to do is realize that you actually are a survivor. It is very difficult to remove yourself from that victim mindset and start living freely for yourself, even after the abuse. You Survive Now Live is my passion project. It is a 30-day workbook that I wrote based on cognitive behavior techniques, aka CBT, that allows you to use journaling and other activities to acknowledge what you've been through, forgive yourself and those who may have hurt you while setting healthy boundaries, and then manifest the life that you want to see for yourself. Essentially, it is a guide to rewrite your story from being the victim of whatever abuse or trauma that you dealt with to now being a survivor of that. The goal for this journal is to help women be able to overcome past traumas and live freely in their present. You may not be able to change what happened to you. You may not be able to take it away, but you do not have to let it identify who you are. You are more. You are bigger. You are stronger. You are more beautiful than anything that has ever happened to you. You did not deserve anything that happened to you, and it's time for you to start moving and living like that. So, now that we're on the same page, I have created a sleepover game so that me and my girls can acknowledge what it is that we've been through and also start putting energy towards where it is that we want to go. It is time for us to be trauma free, okay? 2024 is the year of living for ourselves.
Black women are constantly fighting the aggressive narrative. Do you think this stereotype is correlated to how we're treated in bed?
Yes.
I definitely think it's a lot of it's a lot of people that sexualize black women because we are strong and passionate, and I think they expect us to be that way. And it's like, I'm a pillow princess. I don't want to do all of that. Like, I am a strong woman, but I'm a pillow princess. Like, I don't want, you don't have to. I feel like people think, oh, I want to tame her. It's like they sexualize it, so yeah, I definitely think that aggressive narrative has a lot to do with how they see us and when we're supposed to be when we want to be more submissive.
Ooh, what does a healthy sex life look for you? Often. No, I'm just kidding. But healthy sex life for me, it is abundant, for sure. I'm a sexual girl. But it is really more so the healthy part, being able to speak up about sex. That could be in a good way, in a bad way. Like I want to be able to say, oh, maybe I didn't really like that. I also want to be able to have conversations like, oh, I love when you did that. It's like I just like to be able to communicate about sex in an open-minded way. That's honestly what it looks like healthy for me, because I feel like it grows from the communication and the consent. Yeah. Obviously, communication begins with consent.
I agree.
I love that answer. How do you set boundaries during sex to prevent coercion?
So coercion is basically when you don't necessarily want to have sex, but you don't necessarily say no, but you don't say yes. So this could be in a situation where you're in a relationship and you feel like you have to have sex with your partner because they're gonna cheat on you. There's typically a power dynamic always, so you feel like they're gonna cheat on you, they're gonna take love away from you. This could be if a boss comes at you with an unwanted sexual desire and you feel like you have to say yes because they're not going to give you the raise. Like, there's typically something like that, power dynamic.
I would say by prioritizing the word yes, consent.
Good answer.
Have you ever communicated your desires during sex and had a negative reaction from a man? No.
Ooh.
I have not. I don't know. I think I value communicating during sex and after. You know, because I like to make sure that we are fluid. But for real, but I've never had a negative experience. Because I'm also make sure that I'm very particular with my words. Like, you don't want to use anything that's gonna, make somebody flare up or tense or, anxious or anything like that.
I like that.
How do you classify good sex? I classify good sex as, for me, I classify good sex as like how long am I being pleasured during the sex? Because when you have sex, not all of it is pleasure. Most of that time is spent figuring out where that right spot is. So I feel like if we can get there quickly, if you can listen to me, because I feel like if it feels good to me, it feels good to you, my nigga. So listen to me, listen to my body and what I'm doing. And how long are we there? Are you coming quick? I mean, I don't even mind a quick coming. I do. Because it's come on, let's I also don't like overly long sex. It's annoying.
Because you popped the perk or something.
Yeah. I don't like perk sex at all.
Because I don't like that. I don't like when we spend too much. So to me, it's about the time and how quickly can we figure out what's that spot for both of us. That's good sex to me.
Getting flashbacks. This is a blank card because I have a blank mind because I'm getting flashbacks. Let me get my mind together. Okay. Do you think forgiveness is needed when healing past trauma? If not, how do you release negative energy? This is a real good question because I did not used to think that it was that I had to forgive, the person or this and that. I didn't feel like my abusers or needed to be a part of my healing journey. However, as I started healing, I realized that not forgiving, I was harboring anger, and that was doing nothing but hurting me. So while I do believe that you do need to forgive simply to release the energy you can't release if you're still harboring on, my idea of forgiveness is different. And that person, I may never speak to that person again. I may never give you but I've forgiven you. It's all about me and my heart and releasing the energy from my spirit. For somebody who maybe doesn't want to forgive and is still angry, or doesn't feel that person deserves that forgiveness, because some people may be there and that's okay. I think maybe, being able to like journal or write or like yell or like for me, writing and burning stuff is helpful, because I do have a hard time forgiving sometimes even when I need to. So like writing out shit, burning pictures, like making a physical disconnect to the spirit realm. So that could be burning a picture of you, writing a letter and burning that out. Something where I am acknowledging to the universe, I am splitting my connection with this human being. I don't forgive them, but I don't want access.
Because you're not going to get an apology. Like, you're going to be waiting forever if you're waiting on an apology.
Yeah,
so it's just like, I like that other ways to release that energy is that.
Set up fire!
Why do you think Black women are hesitant to report sexual assault? I feel like Black women are hesitant to report sexual assault because they're afraid of the backlash and the stigma that nothing is going to happen anyway. Like, what is me telling my story and, letting everybody know what happened to me? Will y'all believe me in the first place? Like, is this man going to go to court, or y'all going to pull the BS systematic, crazy law that doesn't support women in the first place to assist?
And it's embarrassing. And then it's just like, what are y'all gonna, are you gonna believe me? Do you care?
Yeah.
Do you care that this man, whatever?
Let's see. Have you ever had a soul tie? How did you release this energy? I have had a soul tie. And it actually took me some time to release, because I believe a soul tie does take time to release. I don't know, something that I know that I did, like, of course, prayer, because like you have to pray that off. Like I don't believe that's a bond.
You know when some shit bad when you on your knees, like God take this desire away.
I will never forget that feeling. Like I literally remember like being on my hands and knees crying. I have journal entries going back like, Lord, please, I don't want to love them no more. Please. Oh, I don't ever want to. Oh.
I don't know. I really feel like that's where prayer really comes in. Like you have to have if you don't have a strong source,
you need a higher power to get rid of this dick. God damn.
I mean, to break that soul tie, it's invisible.
Prayer, yes.
Now, do you believe that it's always sex? Have you ever had a soul tie with somebody you never had sex with, or is it always somebody you've had sex with?
It's only been somebody I've had sex with, so.
I have had one with someone I have not
those
had sex
are
with.
the worst ones.
But also, like we talked about, like I feel like your book helped me understand what a soul tie was. Like, so in the Survive Now Live book, it's an entry about soul ties and how you form them because you are putting in energy somewhere and not receiving it back. Yes. So sex doesn't have to be involved. You can just be simply, dating someone and you're expecting one thing and they like, no ma'am, so then you're left void, basically bankrupt, because that person didn't give you something back, and you know what I'm saying.
It was not a it's not a mutual energy exchange. So anytime you don't feel like there's a mutual energy exchange, there's going to be something left there uncomfortable, and that's really what it is. So yes, oftentimes when we think about it when we're having casual sex, because I mean, I know people do it, but I don't think sex is meant to be casual. It's not a casual thing. You're entering my body. I'm allowing you to enter my body. So it's like, but even still allowing somebody to enter your space, enter your vulnerability, enter your heart, like those are the end. And they haven't given enough that it's an even exchange. It leaves something uncomfortable. But I don't believe that soul ties is the way that they make it seem like, oh, you're just gonna be. I don't believe that you're gonna be attached to these people forever. I do believe you have to acknowledge it and move forward. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something that makes me look at you too often. Baby, you can give it something.